Today, we are pleased to welcome former Director General of the World Trade Organization Pascal Lamy to focus on the core challenges of the multilateral trading system amid global geopolitical changes, as well as share insights on the WTO's reform directions and optimization paths. The digital economy is reshaping global trade. From your perspective, what are the main challenges the current WTO framework faces in governing data flows and digital trade? How can the international community move toward more effective rulemaking in this domain?
Well, I totally agree that digitalization is the big wind of international trade, and it's a tailwind. It's not a headwind. It will increase international trade and expand globalization as the part of services in international trade is growing very rapidly. The part of manufacturers is somehow plateauing, but the part of services and a lot of these services now have to do with digitalization and with international exchange of data. So the question is, can we level the playing field as we did it in manufacturers? Can we level the playing field in services and, more importantly, in data? This is very complex because the data are not ideologically neutral. The way you regulate data in US or in China or in Europe or in India is different. And it is different for philosophical, political, cultural reasons. So the problem is not to look for what will not happen, in my view, which is convergence of regulatory system, which will remain different. The way to go is to make this working as a coexistence, and notably in making these systems interoperable. And this is where the World Trade Organization can step in in order to have an agreement on how these different data systems can interact with one another in removing obstacles that would stem from the differences in the way data systems are regulated in different countries.
Having served twice as WTO Director General, comparing the multilateral trade environment of your tenure to today's, what is the most critical step to reform the multilateral trading system now? And from your past experience in addressing trade disputes, which structures can offer practical references for current reforms?
Well, first, when I was DG at the World Trade Organization, the world was in a much better shape than now. Now you have geopolitical tensions, you have war, like what happened in Palestine between Israel and Palestinians. You look at Africa, there are lots of places which are in very bad shape. So you cannot compare the world of 20 years ago and the world of today. And this has a bearing on international exchange. It's more difficult to trade openly if you have not just trade partners, not just friends, but foes. So this is a reality. Now, this being said, where can WTO still help, and what should WTO do? Agree that the dispute settlement system may need some adjustments, although EU, China, and others have put together a parallel system in order to replace the one that the US have paralyzed. So for the moment, this works, but without the US. So there's something to be done there. And second, I think there are areas where the WTO rulebook should be modernized. Like, for instance, the interaction between trade opening and environment protection. In some cases, environment protection will lead to trade restrictive measures who can be legitimate, but in which cases and what are the right parameters is something that needs to be decided by the WTO members. We've just mentioned e-commerce. E-commerce is an area where the WTO should, and by the way, is moving forward. And third, having been a DG for quite a long time, I think the WTO way of working, the organization itself, should be reformed, and I think the members of WTO should give more authority to the Secretariat to drive a number of negotiations, even if it's for the members to agree on a rule. The capacity to propose a rule should be given to the Secretariat of WTO.